Well, hello, welcome back to the channel. It has been a while. It's been probably 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks since I've been able to do any kind of work around here or videoing, obviously. I've had work schedule change for a little bit, and then I had a health issue come up. I was down for a little over a week on that. Just different things get in the way, so I'm going to try to get back into it. I've only got today I've already been doing stuff around the house, but nothing worth videoing. And so I've got today. This is already in the evening. It's about 5:30, close to 6 o'clock. Gnats are terrible, so I'm going to try to add some dirt. I may not get done with it today, obviously, because it's evening time, but between today and tomorrow, hopefully I get a few hours tomorrow evening, maybe about this time, I can get this redone. It's just washed out so much that I want to try to get some dirt back on it. I'd like to put some rock on it, but I don't have any rock, so I'm going to try to compact this clay down, compact it as I go, keep running over it. And I know eventually it'll wash back out, but we need to get something on it because it's just all washing away, and we don't want that. And then the trail over here too, I need to do it. So next few videos I may be doing quite a bit of this. Still got some more work to do at the pond. I want to get done, work everywhere to do, but we'll get done with what we can get done. So I'm going to try taking this dirt on up the hill here, and I'm going to keep going back and forth and compacting it because it's the ruts are pretty deep. So I'm going to get to work, and we'll talk at you in a little bit. All right. This old clay dirt, man, it compacts down quick. The only thing I worry about now is the water rushing off the hill. But what I hope to do in the not too distant future is add some rock to this. Now, whether that's before winter hits or not, I don't know. But that's what the plan would be. It had a really big dip right here. That's why I just added a little bit more dirt. The more we drive over that, right now I could drive no problem the backhoe all the way up to the top. But I did it just a few minutes ago, and my mower deck started rubbing. So I'll just wait till tomorrow when it won't take a little bit just to get the rest of this done tomorrow, and that will be good. Then I'm just going to have to see. I do have down at the bottom, we had a diversion ditch going across to take the water down that way. I'll need to try to get that back in there. We don't have any chance of rain till maybe some rain Tuesday coming up. So, all right, back up here at the pond. I think this is where my last video was. And my little depth stick is gone. I have a stick up here. There it is. It was right there. I guess that's what it was. Shoot. Don't remember now. Pond is, I think that's where it was last time I was up here. I don't know if you can see, but all the way across, see if you get the camera on here, all the way across. I always think I'm pointing at it, but when I play it back, I'm not close. But those set of logs right there, I'll try to zoom in on it when I'm editing it. But you can see where the logs are black. That's where the water level is usually at. I can't wait for the day when I get me a little John boat, rowboat, something. I like to have a little John boat with a little trolling motor, to where I can get across here and explore over there a little bit. You can go up in there a little bit. You can go up in there a little bit, not very far, but pretty much gonna leave the logs where they're at. They've been there forever. No use. And that side over there is not useful. I mean, you could take a boat over there maybe and fish off that bank, but if I got a boat, I'll just fish out of the boat. Canoe, whatever it may be. Still want to find out if there's any fish in here. Hopefully I get the fish in it before winter. Alright, well, that's it for right now, and I hope to report back to you hopefully before this time tomorrow. I'm hoping it won't be any later than about 2 o'clock or so tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. So, see you then. like a snake skin. Old branch, a root, an old root. messed up and wore my going out to town shoes for my tractor. Oh well. All right. Get a hold of the camera here. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. So I'm trying to create kind of a shelf for if water comes pouring down from the top here. Kind of have a little break there. But you can see how well it's compacting already. That clay is some compacting dirt. Not good for much anything else, but now over here, starting right here, water does tend to go down. There's a little ditch line here. You can't see it from all the weeds now, but I'll show you. Like right here, there's some old standing water, not much. And it come down here. You can see some water standing right here. It's coming on down. And then right about here is where it transitions to go over to right here. And then on down the hill. It's been pretty effective, but we also had the rut that was very deep on this right side going up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is just get me a little ditch going from right about where those two rocks are on an angle across here. Doesn't have to be much. And then I will, as time goes on, I find rocks that are some over here I can get today and just throw them in here. That way it'll hopefully stop some water when it comes down, and when we come and go across here, we don't have to go way down on a dip. So I'm gonna get that done and then call it a day. did not go as I planned. Started out good. I really should be using the backhoe bucket for it, just so it took longer. That part of the ditch over here, that looked good there. And this was a lot harder dirt than that was, for whatever reason. So I really need to get a shovel and kind of curve this in, and then I'll call it done. I need to rake this back this way, right here where the camera's at, of course. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna wrap this video up, and I will finish this and give you a glimpse at the very end of the video here in just a second of my finished product. All right, thank you for coming to the valley, and we hope you come back in soon. Have a great week, a great day. God bless. Okay, this is Tuesday afternoon. We got a significant amount of rain today. This is about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Just got home, so I wanted to come up here and see what the deal is. It's not real bad. You can see where it's running down. It's starting. I may end up putting another little diversion ditch right here to try to bring more of it over to the ditch line. You can see where it's running down the hill. Basically, the sides are taller than my path. So maybe I can try to swale it over where it runs off the sides. But we've had a significant amount of rain today, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Then when you look down here, oh, Arthur don't recognize me in my rain jacket. This ditch is doing pretty good here. I think I'm going to change this down a little bit here where it's running down. I need to get that to go that way. Not going to mess with it right now, obviously, but you can see it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's keeping everything from going that way. It's got enough coming down off the hill over there. So, alright, I'm going to go up here and look at the pond real quick. Well, the pond's, it's come up just a little bit, not much. But I haven't looked at to see when the rain is supposed to quit sometime in the evening. Creek was up pretty good. So we should be getting runoff from the hill coming down into the pond. So hopefully it'll fill back up some. It's been between 3 and 4 foot low, but it'll come back up whenever the good Lord wants to bring it up. All right, I'm going to take one more quick look going back down the hill. All right, this is pretty loose stuff. I should have brought my walking stick. I'm trying to stay over to the edge here. You can see where my feet are sinking down. I didn't get that very well compacted Sunday. Not like down here. Down here, it's pretty well compacted to walk on. Get over here in the grass. I noticed here a minute ago the water was coming down a whole lot stronger earlier today, I'd say, because all this grass right here is laid down flat, so that means the water was rushing down. So I mean, that part's not bad if it wants to go over that way. If it wants to go over that way, I don't care about that. So right up there where the water is starting to gather and come down, I need to, there's about a 10-foot section there where I need to build the dirt up more, but I'll have to really compact it down as I'm going. I'd like to actually put some rock in right there and then some dirt. But anyway, just another quick update. Now this will be the real, I've already started editing the video you're watching, so I'll go back and throw this in there real quick. And we once again appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully everybody needs rain, so hopefully you're all getting rain where you're at, and then we could all spend some time doing yard work again. I hope you all have a good week. I'm having a good week so far, and we will catch you. Hopefully we get another video going on this weekend, but we'll see. We got some things going on that I might not be able to get anything done. So all right, have a good one. See you next time. God bless.